What do you do if desire is really gone? This is Dr. Liz from Sex Positive Site.
This is Cathy Vartuli from the Intimacy Dojo.
And it's a really tough place to be. It brings up all of our I'm not worthy, I'm not desirable, what's wrong, why did you change?
And this can get particularly sticky if you're someone who has children with that person, or you've been married to that person, you're financially dependent on that person. It gets really tough.
Yeah, there's often, we're encouraged to create dependent relationships where we need each other to keep the house, and we can't afford the kids' private school if we live in separate homes or whatever that is. And realizing that it may really be there are lots of ways to rekindle it,
Sure.
and it's worth trying. But if you really one or both people are like, no, I don't want to go there, consent rules.
Yeah, it takes two people to be in a relationship and one person to end it. And so if desire is gone, you have to ask yourself what it is that you're willing to do and what it is that's important to you. So for instance, if you co-parent with the person, are you willing to take some time to be in that relationship that is not sexual and maybe continue cohabitating, maybe continue rearing your kids together?
And maybe open up the relationship if that works.
Get sexual needs met somewhere else, right? Are you willing to be in a relationship that is very loving and intimate, but that doesn't have sex happening?
And there's all levels. Some people are like, if the desire is gone, they may not want to touch at all. And that means the intimacy may be gone. So exploring where the boundaries actually are is really important, because then it allows you to make decisions that are better for you. And dealing with that disappointment. We have stories that we tell each other that, this person loves me so much or enjoys my body so much. And we have this picture that we paint. It's just natural. It's what humans do. We paint a picture going into the future. So you may have some dreams, there are some promises or some agreements that are all of a sudden, you may have laid in bed together and talked about when you were 50, you wanted to have this great sex on the beach. And maybe that's just gone. So honoring that the dreams are beautiful. And I like to pull the juice from them. Like, oh, I really do want to be, having this amazing sex life when I'm 50 and being adventuresome, and I want to keep that going. I don't have to let that part go, but it's not going to happen with that person. It can be a painful process, but if you're willing to be with the feelings of it, the feelings actually pass a lot faster when we're just with them. I love emotional freedom techniques, EFT, to help process that through.
And I think that when you accept that desire is gone, it's a really great opportunity for you to sit down with your partner and create a whole buffet of options for both of you, right? There's no saying that there's one way to go or there's one option from there. Come up with a ton of different ideas. Brainstorm. Make some of them silly and stupid, right? Like option 12 is I murder you, right? Because it's theoretically an option. You're probably not going to choose it, but you could.
We are not endorsing murder.
We're not endorsing murder. We do not endorse murder. But get yourself the freedom to think about all the different ways that it could be. And sometimes it takes a few silly, ridiculous options in order for your brain to stop focusing on one or two things that you think are the best.
Yeah, and I love I'm an engineer, I always make charts of things, but the pros and cons of being with this person without a relationship that's intimate. Is it going to be constantly reminding you that you don't feel desirable? Is it going to be hurting your self-esteem? Or can you get to a point where it's beautiful to have that person that you know so deeply being part of your life without that part of it being present?
And again, just find a solution that feels good for both of you as much as it can, right? Because you're focused on consent, you're going to go to the level of the lowest desire, right? If one of you wants to never speak to the other again, you can't really force them to change that. But I think a lot of times when you look at a huge buffet of options, most people have more flexibility and more openness than they think they might.
And people do sometimes change their mind even if they're a hard no now.
Yeah.
Don't make an agreement based on that. Be really clear that whatever boundary they have now could last or even get more restrictive in the future. But sometimes when we're really good with someone's no and we really get clear ourselves, something new could spring up. And then that's really fun too.
And in general, if you're transitioning a relationship or ending a relationship, as much as you can, try to do that with the same amount of care that you began the relationship. We're all really good when we're ramping up relationships at being very thoughtful and caring, right?
And I want to get to know you. And
right. And this is still someone that you care about. Yeah. So remember what it is that you love about them. Remember what it is that brought you together. Mm-hmm. Honor that. Accept that that is still there. And treat them with the kind of care and respect that they deserve as a human being.
Yeah. We hope this helps. We know it's a painful process. I really appreciate the people that have written in over the years to ask about this, because I want this space to always be a place where people can ask anything, and there's nothing too painful or embarrassing to ask about.
Absolutely.
So thank you for your courage and your vulnerability.
Thank you. And if you have thoughts about this, leave comments below.
Raptors again.
T-Rex arms. T-Rex arm typewriter.
Congratulations on taking this time for yourself and learning these things. If you'd like to follow more of this, you can subscribe to my channel here. Social media is up here. And there's more videos of this type here. See you soon.